Bell for Attorney General campaign.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Roland Reisinger, and no, I am not running for Lieutenant Governor. I'm here on behalf of Robb Bell, who's running for Attorney General. Currently, he represents the 58th District. That's Thomas Jefferson's seat out around the Charlottesville area. He's held that position for the past 11 years. Prior to that, he spent 5 years as a prosecutor in Orange County, handled over 2,400 criminal cases, and gained the practical, real-world experience necessary to be a public sector attorney, where it's about red tape and government bureaucracy, not billable hours and meetings on the golf course. In his 11 years in the General Assembly, Robb has been a conservative stalwart. He's been rated 100% by the American Conservative Union, 100% by the Family Foundation, A from the NRA, and he is proud to have just received a 95% rating from the Virginia Tea Party Patriots Federation on their 2013 legislative survey. It's the highest of any candidate running for statewide office. Robb is running for Attorney General because he believes the Attorney General has 3 jobs. First and foremost is to defend this, the Constitution of the United States, and right now the Constitution is under attack. Barack Obama does not believe that the Constitution limits his executive power. Barack Obama views the Constitution as an impediment to his agenda. For over 200 years, this document has served as the blueprint for freedom, for liberty, and for prosperity. And Barack Obama says it stands in the way of his fundamental transformation of America. Folks, the Attorney General has to be the first line of defense against an overreaching, overbearing, and out-of-control federal government. We need an Attorney General who is going to wake up every day and ask himself, what did Barack Obama do yesterday? Is it constitutional? And if not, what can we do about it? We need an Attorney General who will take this president's unconstitutional health care law and dump it in Boston Harbor where it belongs. Robb stands with the Constitution as our founders intended it. I'll give you 3 examples. First and foremost is this business of property rights. In 2005, the Supreme Court decided in Kelo v. City of New London that it can take your property and give it to you through eminent domain for private use. It's abusive, it's corrupt, it's not what the Founding Fathers meant. Robb co-authored the Property Rights Amendment. It was on the ballot last November, passed with 74% public support, thanks to you all. This session, he was chief co-patron of the so-called Bonetta Bill, continuing his work on property rights. Second is this issue of Obamacare. If you look in the Constitution, the enumerated powers of Congress are contained within Article 1, Section 8, and nowhere in there does it give them the right to make us buy something. You can look in there, it's just not there. That's why Robb co-patroned HB 10, which asserts our state's 10th Amendment rights by nullifying the Obamacare mandate. When Barack Obama said, yes, we can, here in Virginia, we said, no, you can't. Ken Cuccinelli filed the first anti-Obamacare lawsuit in the nation. You know, Barack Obama told us if we liked our doctor, if we liked our health care, we could keep it. How's that working out for us? And now he's told us that if we like our guns, we can keep those too. Well, forgive me if that doesn't inspire much confidence. Robb has always been a staunch defender of the Second Amendment. His view on guns can be summed up in 4 simple words: shall not be infringed. That's what the Constitution says, and that's exactly what it means. And that's why Dick Heller, the plaintiff in the landmark Supreme Court case D.C. v. Heller, has endorsed Robb Bell for Attorney General. Dick Heller trusts Robb Bell to defend our Second Amendment rights. Robb voted to repeal 1 gun a month. He voted to repeal the concealed carry ban in certain restaurants. He is staunchly opposed to a so-called assault weapons ban. And he was proud to vote for the House's upgraded concealed carry privacy bill, which applies to everybody, not just domestic violence victims, and it applies by default. There is no written opt-out requirement. Robb voted for it. Robb loves it. Robb is proud of his colleagues in the House for finally upgrading that bill. You know, right now, Barack Obama has signed 23 executive orders chipping away at the edges of the Second Amendment, while his co-conspirators, Dianne Feinstein and Michael Bloomberg, pushed the most radical gun grab bill in the history of the Republic, We need an Attorney General who's going to stand up to it and say, not here in Virginia, say, Michael Bloomberg, keep your hands off of our guns. Now, the second job of the Attorney General is to fight crime. Robb is the only candidate running for Attorney General of either party with real-world law enforcement experience. Prior to serving as delegate, he served as a prosecutor for 5 years, and currently he chairs the State Crime Commission. Robb Bell writes many of the tough criminal laws that we like here in Virginia. He wrote a law to mandate life in prison for child molesters. He wrote a law to keep sex offenders off of school property. He wrote a law cracking down on recidivist drunk drivers and folks who drive drunk with children in the car. This session he had a bill passed to make child pornographers serve their full sentences. He's been working with Ken Cuccinelli on a bill to stop human trafficking. Ken has made that one of the priorities of his administration. He needed some multi-jurisdictional grand juries, their investigative powers. Ken's been working with Robb. That bill passed. It has been signed by the governor. We're going to be cracking down on human traffickers here in Virginia. Now, the third job of the Attorney General is to defend our common sense conservative values, and Robb has done this in so many ways. This session, he introduced a bill to require drug testing for welfare recipients. It's about time. He introduced the TiVo bill, which protects the rights of homeschooling students. In this session, he took the lead. He introduced 5 voter integrity bills. First and foremost, photo ID, no exceptions. Folks, I've got some bad news. The utility bills are causing us problems, and they're not going to be shut down until 2014. He introduced a bill to kick illegal aliens off the voter rolls, one to get the illegal felons off there as well. The fourth checks our voter rolls here in the Commonwealth with the other states to eliminate the duplicate registrations that were famously exploited by Patrick Moran and others. And the fifth allows the Attorney General's office to directly investigate voter fraud. Right now, they have to be invited in by the local electoral board. Robb, that last bill is interesting. Robb didn't just introduce it because it's a good idea. Robb introduced it because he wants that tool in his toolbox. Folks, if we want to prosecute some voter fraud, we need to send a prosecutor to Richmond as our next Attorney General. Now, in closing, let me just say that Robb voted against this transportation bill and against the budget every step of the way. You don't raise revenue by raising taxes. You grow revenue by growing the economy, and this transportation bill is a job killer. Cut your Richmond, not your pocketbooks. Thank you very much.
We're going to move on to our second phase here, but a little bit of housekeeping. This is going to be a very tough call, as you can see from what you've heard. We've had some, it's just some amazing candidates here. Can't you all just kind of get together and spread yourselves out across other races? So, to that point, there is a convention.
Yes, the other 6 are welcome too.
There's a convention coming up May 17th and 18th. And for those of you who are so inclined and of the Republican persuasion, you're going to want to go to that convention so that you can make your decision on who scratches your itch, so to speak, up on this dais. So Mr. Steve Thomas up here is the chairman of the Manassas GOP. He will be collecting signatures for those of you who want to become delegates at that convention. We also have a straw poll, and I'm going to ask someone if they can just start passing these around. We'd like to ask those of you who are here to vote which way you're kind of leaning based on what you've heard tonight and the other candidates here on this ballot. I've also been asked to announce that there will be a door knocking for Ken Cuccinelli on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Gregory Construction. That's where the meeting will be, and I believe there will be food. So the lovely lady passing out the ballots, Jennifer Basinger, if you are interested in that door knocking event, please talk to Jen. So